ahead. Lord of the nations, we come to you with thanks for so many reasons. We thank you for our teachers and school nurses as we give special appreciation for all that they do for our children and community. Thanks for our community and the opportunity to work together to persevere during this unique time in our lives. Thank you for our healthcare workers, first responders, grocery clerks, delivery folks, and all who are working to meet our needs. And thank you for our children. Be with them as they face the many challenges presented to them from day to day. We pray for your blessings, Lord, and all who are concerned for their health and the health of their loved ones. And we ask you to give us the wisdom to know your will and the strength to carry it out. Amen.
Thank you. The Clay County School Board meeting, May the 7th, 2020, will come to order. I'd like to welcome citizens of Clay County. I want to take this opportunity to thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to attend tonight's telephonically conference school board meeting from your socially safe location. We wish all of you good health as we proceed through this challenge together. This meeting is our opportunity as your elected representatives to collaborate openly and make decisions that will decide the future direction of our public schools and the education of our children here in Clay County. If you utilized our website comment link to comment on a specific agenda item, your comments will be included in this meeting if received prior to 2 p.m. today. No comments will be taken on topics which are not on the agenda. Your virtual participation is welcomed and appreciated, and we did not have any comments come in by 2 o'clock. Excuse me, my husband's answering the phone. The home phone, my cell phone silent. Next, we have no public comments. The adoption of the consent agenda. There were no items pulled. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move approval. Janice Karakas.
I'll second. Ashley Gilhousen.
Okay. I have a motion by Mrs. Karakas, a second by Mrs. Gilhousen. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Oh,
aye.
Let me do a roll call vote on this, please. Ms. Gilhousen?
Aye.
Ms. Karakas?
Aye.
Ms. Bullock?
Aye.
Ms. Bola?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Motion passes 5-0. Next is the CCEA update. Renali, you have the floor.
Thank you. Good evening. I'm Renali Paiva, president of the CCEA for the next 3 school board meetings, counting today. So, happy Teacher Appreciation Week. A huge shout out to our teachers, guidance counselors, social workers, school psychologists, specialists, and anyone else I inadvertently left off. This is our last school board meeting before school closes. I am amazed by the teachers of Clay County. Without 1 day of training, they got together and figured it out. They not only worked the week of March 16th, the teachers also worked their spring break. They had direct communication from our superintendent through 16 emails from March 13th to March 30th, which was our virtual planning day. Principals held multiple Google Meets, as well as our county office departments having multiple Google Meets. Of course, most meetings were labeled as optional, but teachers attended and they did their job. If anything, you all owe us our spring break back. So what we're going to ask teachers to do now, and Mr. Brodsky will talk about this, is go back into school and pack up their classrooms. Some of those teachers have to move their classrooms because the principals have asked them to move for numerous reasons. I did find that curious because we don't even know what next year is going to look like. unfortunately, the district and the CCA is paralyzed to do much planning because the governor has not yet passed a budget. Without a budget, we cannot bargain wages, terms, and conditions of employment. So teachers are beyond anxious. Usually, teachers are anxious about their salary and insurance. Not this year. This year, teachers are anxious about conditions of employment. So what does all that mean? What will teaching look like? Will they be able to hug their children? How much will they be able to grieve, heal, and reconnect? Will the faculty be given space and time with each other before kids return? Remember, educators and students will need time to still have some closure to the 2019-2020 school year, both in learning connections and also in emotional connections. Let's not lose sight of the fact that we are in a pandemic. People have lost loved ones. Some have gotten this terrible virus and have fought through it. We have lots to plan and not a lot of time to do it. But again, we need a budget. But here are some things that we can do. This virus does not know that we are supposed to start school in August, or is it September? Because lots of districts are saying September and lots of districts are saying August. We know we are going to need lots of things. What we're going to need are PPEs, face masks, gloves, hand sanitizers, thermometers, Clorox wipes for every classroom and every teacher. How many? Have we ordered them? When will we order them? Do we have a budget for these things? All these are questions, and we don't have an answer because we don't have a state budget. Duval has ordered. They've ordered 1,500 non-touch thermometers. They've ordered 1 million masks and gloves, and they've also ordered sanitizers and Clorox wipes. I mention all this because you cannot wait. You cannot wait till your August school board meeting to make these decisions. You need to fund these things now. In August, you can be sure that every school system is going to be in competition with each other to buy supplies in the entire nation, not just in the state of Florida. If you wait, you will not get them, and you will be in a price war. This is the least we can do. Everything else will need to wait for the governor and the budget. And I know Mr. Brodsky has a great plan, and I know he's going to get together and we're going to have this task force to figure it out. But we can't figure anything out until the legislators and the governor provide the budget we need and some guidance on when we're going to open, and then we're going to have to figure out what that's going to be, because it's not going to be typical. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Studdard, I believe you said it's my turn.
Here we go. Now I'm on. I was muted. Okay. Now, the CESPA update, there will not be one. Mr. Roberts was not able to come tonight. Superintendent's update and presentations. Mr. Brodsky, you have the floor.
Yes, ma'am. I just have a couple of quick things that I wanted to review, and I think Mr. Bunkley is going to go ahead and put that up there. Go to the first slide. That's the last. So today we're just going to talk a couple of things. One, distance learning, graduation, meal services, National School Lunch Hero Day, Teacher Appreciation Week, and something called Mr. Broski's Book Nook. It's a special treat for you tonight. So if we could flip on to the next slide, the next one on distance learning. Just some facts and numbers about distance learning. We've had over 1.6 million of One Clay portal logins. Google Classroom 1.7 launches, 1.7 million launches. iReady 638,000 launches. I'm just amazed at what teachers, students, and yes, parents too. Let's face it, parents now are involved in the process, and I've heard from many of them over the course of this time frame. So distance learning, one of our next challenges, school board members and public, is just how to actually close the school at the end of the year. Don't forget, when the governor made the announcement for schools to be closed, it was on a Friday afternoon at 4:30 that we all got that news. So the actual collection of materials, textbooks, Chromebooks, and all of those kinds of things from parents, and also the giving back of personal items to students. So if you can imagine a school, a large school like Oak Leaf High School, 2,300 students there, they have personal items and lockers, those kinds of things. And then they also have Chromebooks and stuff they have to deliver back to us. So we've developed a plan to do that. I know that the CCA has looked at that plan as well as others. And right now, emergency management and the health department are looking at that. We want to make sure that we provide the best possible plan that is the safest for our students at the end of the year for the collection and distribution. I can't emphasize enough, this is a monumental task if you really think about the amount of things that have to go back and forth in order to effectively close the school like we would normally do in a school year. So graduation, I want to thank the board for approving the item within the consent agenda. We've moved graduation to Friday, July 17th. Thank you so much for that. I know that many parents have contacted you and me wanting a traditional graduation, and we certainly appreciate that. I'd also point out that there's many class of 2020 celebrations. I think we all recognize that and in essence feel bad for the class of 2020 as to what's happened. We not only have virtual senior award ceremonies, we are also doing a senior celebration the night of the originally scheduled graduation on May 29th. We're doing a night of lights because when you think about it, in military time, 2020 is 8:20. So nationally, there's a movement to turn on stadium lights from 8:20 to 8:40 for that 20-minute time frame. We are looking for every opportunity that we possibly can. There's an actual committee made up of senior high administrators coming up with ways to celebrate. I know that I know Ms. Bullock was at the Keystone one, but I was at the Middleburg one, kind of a drive-through, picking up your graduation stuff and a celebration, of that. I really do sincerely feel bad for this class. My own niece is a graduate of the class of 2020, and we just need to do everything we can, and we are doing that. And I just wanted to reassure you of that. Meal services, 78,000 meals served as of yesterday, so more than that. But basically very proud of Susie Glover and her crew. They do an outstanding job in doing that. Remember, these are the schools flashed up on your screen, the 17 schools that we have listed there. On May 1st, it was School Lunch Hero Day. Our cafeteria assistants have really done an outstanding job. Those 17 sites that they have, it was designated nationally as School Lunch Hero Day, and we just want to throw a shout out to our cafeteria assistants and managers. Very outstanding job. We're also partnering with the EOC for local food banks. This is something new. Wednesdays, we're at Lakeside Elementary, and we're at Lakeside, Lake Asbury Junior on Thursday, Wilkinson on Friday, Keystone on Fridays also, and you can see the times there. This is done by our partnership with the EOC. We are providing the space to do it, and some of our folks are also helping, as well as our police force is providing their resources at that time to help the community. So we greatly appreciate that. Teacher Appreciation Week, I just want to show some photos of some folks out there. great job. I've been to a couple of them. We're trying to create social distancing and not have more than 9 people, at a spot. So mostly it's drive-through service to honor teachers. And I think that's great. You could see some of those. There was a video created. I'm hoping everybody checked out the video. Many of these pictures are from the video. Let me just share something with you. Mr. Broski's Book Nook, okay? Let me just say one of the joys that I've had is to be involved in elementary schools since becoming superintendent, both going out and visiting before the pandemic occurred. And of course, the reading is so important, literacy. So we started what's called Mr. Broski's Book Nook. You know that more creative people than me came up with this idea. I want to invite all school board members to be a part of this and be a guest reader. We've had several guest readers. The book that I read was Pete the Cat's Groovy Bake Sale. I hope I did an adequate job for young students out there that heard my reading, but we want board members to also be involved and pick a book and be a guest celebrity reader. Chief Wagner's was and Ms. Paiva, you too. Chief Wagner was one of those. Of course, Ms. Dennis, Mr. Daly, Ms. Tito, and we welcome everybody. Can't promote literacy more than enough. And this is just one tool to do that. It's located on the district portal. It's also on the website. Mr. Broski's Book Nook. No, I did not take off my coat and put on a sweater or sneakers or anything like that, but it was a fun time doing that for young folks. And that's all that I have. I want to thank everybody for their support. I especially want to thank the teachers this week. Happy Teacher Appreciation Week. It's also Nurses Week this week too. No doubt that nurses, their role in society has definitely changed as a result of what's happening now with COVID-19. And just a sincere thank you to everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Broski. Do we just contact you if we want to read in your Book Nook?
Yes, ma'am. Just contact me. We'll be glad to hook you up with a good book.
Okay, I volunteer.
All right.
Anybody want to volunteer? Raise your hand if you want to volunteer. Ms. Gilhousen, Ms. Bola, Ms. Kirikas, and Ms. Bullock. You have 5 board members, and you're going to pick us out a book.
Ms. Paiva? Okay.
All right, there we go. Ms. Paiva, too. So if you would pick us out books and tell us where to go and when, we'll be all set.
Yes, ma'am, we'll do.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Broski. It's just amazing what our district has done during this pandemic. We're all just so proud of the teachers, the administrators, and the support personnel. It's just amazing. The next item on the agenda, D1, is Human Resources Special Action. I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve. This is Mary Bola.
Okay. And a second, please.
I'll second Janice Karikas.
Okay. I have a motion by Mrs. Bola, a second by Ms. Kirikas. Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Wait a minute. Let's do a roll call. I'll go along the pictures here. Ms. Gilhousen,
Aye.
Ms. Kirikas,
Aye.
Ms. Bullock,
Aye.
Ms. Bola,
Aye.
and I vote aye. So motion carries 5-0. Next is school board attorney remarks.
I have none.
Nothing? Okay. And then school board member remarks. I'll go along my screen. I'll start it in reverse order. Ms. Bullock?
Well, just as Mr. Broski said, I was fortunate to go to Keystone Heights High School as they were the students came down the student parking lot, and we were safely parked at a distance, and they received their cap and gown, and also they had a stick-in sign with their picture and some accolades on it, and I was amazed again at what our teachers had put together. I was parked at a safe distance from a teacher that I'd actually hired, Cindy Luce, and she shared with me, not only does she have a high school student who is graduating, she also has a college student that is graduating. So as you can see, she was impacted by high school and by college. And she reminded me that I'd hired her 25 years ago. So, but I tell you, they just did a phenomenal job. In fact, some of the students came through 2 and 3 times. They were so excited to be recognized. And the other thing is, Mr. Broski mentioned, not only are we doing students, but I'm fortunate to be able to deliver to senior citizens. And today I delivered to one of the ladies on my routes who's 102. And she apologized for being slow coming to the door to get her food. But I was amazed at just imagine all the things that she's lived through. And so while I know our students are very disappointed about, especially our seniors, about this year, just imagine 102, they've got a long lifetime ahead of them for things that they get to see and do. And I'm so proud of the way they have been resilient with all of this. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bullock. Ms. Karakas?
Well, I'd like to echo what Mr. Broski said and both Ms. Paiva. I applaud our teachers, our instructional staff. They have gone above and beyond. I know they've been working tremendous hours. I've met quite a few people on the walks that I've taken, and our teachers are getting phone calls at 8, 9 o'clock at night when the school day should end at 2:30 or 4 o'clock, whatever their schedule would be. They're getting emails all night long, and parents are frustrated. Things are not working out the way they would like it to be with distance learning. It's not as easy as we all would like it to be. And it's a challenge for everybody. And our teachers, I think, are dealing with the brunt of it. Our district staff, they've done a great job. Our maintenance, our cafeteria support people. I just want to say I'm so proud to be part of the Clay County School District because they have all gone above and beyond. And I'm just thrilled with it. So happy Teacher Appreciation Week. A thank you to all our teachers and to all our nurses. We appreciate them. And on an actual business note, I know we're going to be coming up with a budget workshop sometime in July. But I think if by any chance the governor passes a budget sooner, I think we should move our budget workshop up and we should talk about the exact things that Ms. Paiva talked about. We need to be prepared. We need to work on that right now. We probably should do that immediately and be prepared so that when August does come, or if they postpone the school year to September or whatever day we go back at, we need to make sure that we are supplying our students, our staff with the necessary tools and equipment to keep them safe. So I would really like us to be proactive with that and act on that as soon as possible. Thank you.
Okay, next, Ms. Gilhousen.
Well, I would say that the 2019-2020 school year has to go down as one of the most challenging that we've faced in a very long time. And to see what our teachers have accomplished for their students is astounding. Driving through neighborhoods and seeing the signs out for the graduates. And I have several friends who are teachers, and I've heard the same stories as you, Ms. Karakas, where they're getting phone calls and emails and text messages. It's turned into a 24-hour-a-day job just about for them. So I know my own kids miss their friends. They miss their teachers. Never in my life did I think I'd hear them say, "When can we go to school?" But I think we're all feeling that way. We miss that physical interaction. I think one of the things I've learned the most as I've been working through this process with my own children is just how much they need that special touch from their teacher in order for learning to really be effective. There is nothing like watching the live classes and seeing the teachers able to engage with the students and really have meaningful discussion. It's become one of the highlights of our entire day at home when they get that opportunity to have a little bit of FaceTime, even though it's technically screen time, with their teachers and their classmates. So teachers, I can't say enough how much I admire you, how much and I know that so many times your job seems thankless, and it's a long time between seeing the fruits of your labor, but man, do we ever appreciate the work that you're doing on behalf of our kids.
Thank you. And Ms. Bola?
I feel like I just want to say ditto to everything that everyone has said up to this point. Ms. Paiva, you were talking about the end of the school year and how teachers need closure, children need closure. It's real typical for that depression to come at the end of the school year. In some cases, you're happy to say goodbye to some of those children. And in most cases, that last hug or that last, pat on the back, and yeah, you'll see them down the hallway, or you might see them in the community, but they're not going to be yours anymore. You're sending them on knowing that you've done a great job. And teachers have all done a great job. It has been an amazing experience to watch, to see the senior songs, the videos, all of the work that the administrators, the teachers, and even the students are putting into what they're producing for their senior year, as well as for the rest of the school year. It was fun attending the awards assembly for Oakleaf Junior High on Facebook, and being able to see everything that's going on and the creative ways that we are trying to wrap this year up and indeed plan for the future. And I agree with Ms. Paiva and Ms. Kirkus. Mr. Brodsky, we need to be proactive for next year. We have not sat back. We are a county that thinks ahead. We are a county that plans ahead. And the more that we can plan, the better. It's going to be a weird year. It's going to be a weird summer. And agreeing with Ms. Kirkus here again about meeting early for the budget, whenever we find that out, that is going to be a very interesting plan. And for all that was promised to the teachers and all that was said about this is the year of the teachers, and then to have to face all that we faced has been a tremendous burden on them. So thank you, teachers. Thank you, nurses. Thank you. There's not enough thanks to go around for everyone because everyone is so greatly appreciated. And on that note, I'll say thank you.
Thank you all. First of all, I want to say to Mr. Brodsky, when you were appointed the interim superintendent, I'm just amazed at what has happened since you came into that job. And I want to openly, personally thank you for stepping up and doing a fantastic job. You've handled yourself with calm and professionalism and have been the leader that we need through this pandemic. So my hat's off to you, and I know the other board members feel the same way. So thank you, Mr. Brodsky. The other thing is I want to commend all the teachers. I mean, this is the week that we're honoring all of our teachers, and they deserve it this year more than any other year that I can remember in my years on the school board. They have gone above and beyond the call of duty, and I just think we have a wonderful group of teachers. And then I was told that it was PE teachers and sport something weekday. I want to commend them too, because it's been so important for our children to stay active during this time. They can't just sit at the computer all day long. And so I commend them. And then the nurses, there was, is it a day or a week, the nurses, that we are to honor them. And we are so proud of them and the phenomenal job they do. And then you said the school lunch hero day. Absolutely. I was so impressed with all the lunches that you listed in your presentation, Mr. Brodsky. They're doing a phenomenal job. And, our administrators, our principals and our administrators have stepped up to the plate. I'm touched by looking on social media at all of the different things that the principal and his staff have done in recognizing people going to their homes and delivering things to their homes. I mean, it just, it just brings back that we are family, and we pull together, and we're all going to get through this together. This will be our last virtual board meeting on the 14th for our school board workshop. We're going to meet in person, so I want y'all all to be looking good. Go get your hair done, get your toes done, your nails done, because we are going to finally be able to see each other in person again, and we will to maintain the distance. But 6 feet is a lot closer than from here to each of your houses. So I'm looking forward to having a in-person board meeting workshop on the 14th. And if there's nothing else to come before the board, I'll adjourn the meeting. Have a good evening, ladies and gentlemen.